When people want balanced combat in Dungeons & Dragons, they don't want combat that is a 50-50 chance of either side winning. They want combat that the PCs will almost always win, but feels like they might lose. As you might expect, this is a bit tricky to pull off. I don't know about you, but when I first read that tweet, I felt an overwhelming sense of relief, because it so perfectly describes and deconstructs this huge problem, this pressure of creating balanced encounters. We want our games to feel fair, so we think PCs and monsters have to be equal. If they get 2 times damage on a crit, so do the monsters, because that's balanced. Okay, but I know my players don't want every monster to roll death saving throws like they do. Those are little examples, but there are hundreds of monsters in D&D with unique abilities that your characters cannot attain. Many even have special categories of abilities, like layer actions and legendary actions that allow them to make very powerful moves outside of their turn. As Dungeon Masters, we have to accept that player characters use a sheet with a class and a race, and monsters are just stat blocks. So from their very mechanical frameworks, the two are unequal, unfair, and certainly not balanced. And the game proves this. Does half your party die in each combat encounter? Or do your combats end in a TPK 50% of the time? I really hope not. Balance does not mean equal. It means this nearly impossible encounter design dilemma of feeling equal while being highly in favor of the player character's survival. But why do we create this dilemma for ourselves? Why not let the threat of character death in combat be real? Why not kill off characters regularly to have a truly dangerous and balanced game? Isn't that like a major facet of old school D&D? I don't have any data or evidence on D&D character mortality back in the 70s and 80s. What I do have is this quote from Gary Gygax that says, "To ensure continuity,
you should tailor the campaign and scenarios within it so that through good play and no more than average luck, a player's game persona has at least a 95% chance of surviving in some form or another suitable to that player, or else the player's interest in the campaign, and possibly the campaign itself, will be short-lived."
So at least by 1989, Gygax himself understood that killing player characters may kill the player's interest and kill your whole campaign. And 100% this seems to be the prevailing opinion today. Well, 78% according to this poll of over 12,000 D&D lovers who say that PCs do not need to die for their game to feel dangerous. But this is where I kinda disagree with 78% of people, I guess. I think of it this way. As a DM, I want the game to feel exciting and dangerous, so I design dangerous encounters. But if every character always survives every dangerous encounter, the encounters stop feeling dangerous, and the game as a whole won't feel dangerous and exciting. And this isn't just a thought experiment, this is how I've actually lost some interest in 5e as a player and sought new ways to make the game more deadly. Sure, for my first few years of play, I was totally fine making it through BBEG after BBEG by the skin of my character's teeth, but eventually it's like, dang, we're always gonna make it through by the skin of our teeth. And more importantly, why do our teeth have skin? The point is, I posted this poll where one PC death about every 20 sessions is similar to Gygax's 95% chance of surviving, and I fully expected the results to peak somewhere between that second option and the fourth option, assuming that everyone else also thinks an occasional death is required to maintain a legitimate threat of death. But perhaps the popularity of custom miniatures, professional character portraits, and dice to match a character's aesthetic should have been enough to hint that most people are literally invested in their character's survival. Still, it would be really interesting to also know how long each of those 12,000 folks have been playing D&D, because it definitely took me about 4 years and probably 6 or 7 characters to feel the way I do now. So now we've established that true balance is in fact a lie that basically nobody wants. Instead, most players and DMs want to feel like the characters could die, but they will almost always survive. So we come to this tweet's conclusion that this is really difficult to pull off from a design standpoint. Think about it. If you try to build encounters that feel deadly and almost kill characters but don't actually kill them, sometimes the dice gods or strategy will be in your favor and you're going to end up killing some characters. It's inevitable. You're flying too close to the sun. Your teeth skin is too thick. or thin. That expression is gross and I don't understand it. So whether you want character death to be part of your game, or you're trying to avoid it at all costs, here are a few fail-safe solutions to keep your campaign alive after a character dies. And let's start with the ones that Gygax listed back in 1989. Therefore, the superior
role-playing game offers player continuity through the following devices. 1. Avoidance of fatality through some form of luck or magic. 2. Return from death or similar state through resurrection, cloning, reincarnation, and or replication. 3. Replacement of the dead character by a sibling, other family member, or associate.
We see avoidance of fatality through 5e's high hit points, healing short rests, fully healing long rests, even if you were near death the night before, some class features, many healing spells, magic items, and of course, death saving throws, instead of just dying at 0 hit points, like monsters do. Remember, they're not equal. But then for when your characters do actually die, 5e offers return from death through a handful of costly spells, but not much else that I'm aware of, so this is where you need to have devils, demons, and really any powerful supernatural forces in your setting who will offer resurrection for something in return. The price could be as classic as the character's everlasting soul, or a quest for some holy relic, or defeating or undermining a powerful enemy of that supernatural entity. And this does not mean the character must now multi-class into paladin or cleric or warlock, but they can if they want to. And there must be some interesting alternative methods of resurrection that I'm missing, so let me know in the comments, because Gary's final option of replacing the dead character with a sibling or associate sounds like, at best, making a new character, and at worst, replacing your hero Gimmelas with Gimmelas's twin brother, Gimmelmere. The other option that Gygax left out is avoiding fatality through alterations to the adventure. Pre-game prep or in-game improv, it is the DM's job to consider whether or not their party can handle an encounter and to make adjustments as needed. Too easy? You need more bad guys, stronger bad guys, or fewer ways to regain hit points. Too difficult? Fewer bad guys, weaker bad guys, or more ways to regain hit points. So this illusion of balance is really more difficult for game designers than it is for you to achieve at your table by improvising adjustments to suit your specific party. What's most important about this whole topic is that you discuss it with your fellow players and learn how they feel about their characters getting killed. And watch this video about different ways to roll stats in case you need to. Thanks, and keep building.